Hey, what's up everybody? Adobe Masters here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a motion graphics in After Effects and then create the customizability of it that you can then import into Premiere Pro. And so that's kind of complex, so let me just break it down a little bit further. So what we're doing is we're going to be creating a motion graphic, some sort of template like this. So you have this sort of episode 1, it comes in and then it fades off into nothingness. But you see that right here, what we have is it says episode 1. So if we directly imported this into Premiere Pro, maybe we had 25, maybe we had 35 episodes. Every single time we'd have to come back to After Effects and change this to the episode name, whatever the name of it is going to be. We'd have to do it 35 different times. So we'd have to create like 35 different projects or compositions, and it gets sort of tedious. So what we can do is we can actually create a motion graphics template out of this, and we can insert a variable into the episode title right here. So in Premiere Pro, we'll actually be able to adjust what the text says, and we'll never have to touch After Effects after we create the initial design. It's a really neat process, and it gives you so much customization because you can create something in After Effects and then link it up the correct way, and then you'll never have to touch that project again. You can do all of this stuff from Premiere Pro in the future, and it just allows you to sort of work a lot quicker because you don't have to keep jumping back between programs. So let's get started on this. As you can see right here, what I have is I just created a motion graphics. Really, really simple. I created 2 lines, and then I had their scale just go from 0 to 100, and then I did the exact same thing with just some text in the center here. So, it comes in, and then it goes for a little while, then it goes out, and then I had the opacity fade out so that if you drag and drop it into Premiere Pro, it's going to do exactly that. So let's just do sort of a workflow to do this right away. What I need to do first is I'm actually going to go up to Window right here, and we need to open up the Essentials Graphics window, like so. It's usually going to open up right about here. And then it's going to ask us to select a composition. So I'm going to say Composition 1, because that's the one we have right now. And then let's just export this as, right now. Let's just do episode title like so, and let's just click on this export motion graphics template. And it's going to say you have to import this, at least one sort of controller. I'm like, oh, okay, if we just click the add comment button, it's going to sort of overwrite that. We click the export, going to save the project as episode, click OK, and it's going to do its whole little thing right here where you choose a destination. And now when we go into Premiere Pro, you'll notice that if we go over here into the Essential Graphics and browse, we have our episode title here. So we drag that on here. It's going to take a second for them to link. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. And as long as you have After Effects in, this will link up. And now you can see that we have our motion graphics in here. Pretty neat. Now we can just drag and drop it in. But you'll notice something is if I click on here, we have no customization. It says comment here, but no matter what I do, if I drag in 12 of these, they're always going to say episode 1. So what we can do instead is we can actually link this up so that instead of it being this flat sort of thing that we don't get a lot of control over, we can make it into this asset that we have a ton of control over. So let's do just that. What we're going to do is we're going to jump back here into After Effects. And you can see that right here we have the thing playing over to the right, and then we have the controller that we just sort of blew through earlier. So let's take a step back and let's look at this controller. Down here are going to be where we're going to add our controls. And how do we add controls? What do we do? That's actually really, really simple. All you have to do is click one of these properties and drag it up, and you'll see that it just drops right in. Now, a couple of these properties can't be adjusted through Premiere, can't be adjusted through the controller. So to see which ones can, just click the Solo Supported Property button up here. Now what you're going to see is it's going to open up every single property that it's going to allow us to manipulate inside of our controller. And you'll notice that if we go into the text, one of them is source text. So what we can do is we can click on this, click right into here, and then let's give it a name. Let's give it episode title. And now this is the default text, this is what it's going to start at. So episode 1, that's something that'll help us, it'll help the person, whoever is using this, understand that this is where that text is going to be. So we're going to click OK on that. And so now let's re-export this with this new control in here. So all we did was we took the source text down here and we dragged it into our controller, renamed it, and now we're ready to go. So let's click the save button. It's going to save the project. It's going to do its whole thing, and let's click the exact same destination. Since we have one there, sure, let's replace it. And so now it's going to replace that file over in Premiere Pro right here. And you'll notice nothing has changed, and that's because we actually have an old link right here. So we're going to delete this out, go back into our Essential Graphics, and grab our new episode title. And now let's drop this one in here. And so look, it still says episode 1, but when we click on here, we have a place that we can import or change our text. So now we can name it something like, what I typically do, Japan 2016, just like so. And now look, the text changes. It's the exact same animation, except now the text is fully customizable. So if we had, like I said, 35 episodes, all we have is now one motion graphics template that we need to drag in. And every time that all we do is just drag it in the beginning, click on it, and then just change the text, and then it's completely and totally good to go. We can go one step further though. Let's say that we want to control the color behind it. What we can do is we can actually go into the color, which is this royal solid in the background, and let's go up into layer, solid settings, and let's change this to white. And the reason we're changing this to white is because white is tintable. So we can go into our effects over here, and we can search for tint. Click on the tint right here, and let's drag and drop that onto our white solid. And now you'll see right here, it says map black to. That's going to do nothing. There's no black in here, but we have a ton of white. So now we can map white to whatever we want. So let's map it back to that blue color, or at least as close as we can get. You know, it doesn't really matter to have the exact color. So right there. And now what this did is linking it through the tint instead of the color itself, it opened up this new property that we can drag into, map white to. So now we can click this map white to, and we can drag it into our controller. And I think you see where we're going with this. Now we're gonna have control in Premiere Pro of the tint, which means we have control over the background color. So let's go and just change this to background color, like so. And then now let's export it once again. Click the save button, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing. Choose the destination as just the essential graphics folder. Click OK, you wanna replace it, sure. And then go back into Premiere Pro. Delete out that old one and go into browse right here, and let's grab that new episode title. And now when we click on it, we have not only the episode title, but now we have the background color. So let's give it that same, the Japan 2017, but let's go and make the background a bright red. So now let's go into here and drag this down, and now it's a bright red. And look, I just want to show you the power of this really quickly. Let's go back into the essential graphics and grab one that goes right after it. And so now we can just give it some, random name. Let's make this one. Let's click on this one. So now it has it selected. And let's give this one, I don't know, just make something up. Australia. 2019. And then let's give it a background color of greenish. Let's go bright green. And just like that, I've created two episode titles. So now we have the Japan, it comes out, fades out, then it goes into here, and then right when we get to our second title right over here, we could shrink the comp size if we wanted this to be exact. It's gonna go Australia 2019. So we can drag and drop these things 100 times now. We can change it, it's completely customizable, and you can go even further. You can do things like rotation, scale, any of the aspects that you have here, you can drag up as a controller into here and then export the template, and then you don't have to touch it in After Effects anymore because now you have set it up so that Premiere Pro can now edit and adjust it. I just thought that was really awesome. It's really powerful, and if you have even just sort of slight knowledge of After Effects, you can create these awesome motion graphics and then import them over into Premiere Pro, and then you can create this whole entire library of these motion graphics that all you have to do is click on them to change the text, and you can do it all in Premiere Pro. It just speeds up your workflow so much. So that's it on this tutorial. Thanks everyone for joining me. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and throw them in the comment section below, or on our website, adobemasters.net. We have a forum section there, so that'd be great if you threw them in there. I'd love to help you out there. If you want to see more videos similar to this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I make a video every other day on Adobe related products, kind of focusing on the video realm. And until next time, guys, see ya.